There was a businessman who was away from home, and he was not supposed to be back for a couple of days, but he came back early. And he comes up to his house, and he walks into his house, and as he walks into the house, he hears this noise up in the bedroom. And it's quite an unusual noise for one person, okay? And he thinks, uh-oh, and he makes his way towards the bedroom, but he stumbled, and he hit the chair, and it made a noise, and the noise changed in the bedroom. So he walked into the bedroom, and as he walked into the bedroom, there was his wife standing there in the nude, no clothes on, in the middle of the day. And he says, "What in the heck are you doing in the nude in the middle of the day?" And she said, "Well, sweetheart, I've been taking a course on becoming a psychic and how I could see the future. And I've been practicing, and I picked up on you were coming home early. So I thought I would surprise you." Now, ladies, don't try this. And so he says, "I don't believe you." And he opens the closet, and there's a man standing there in the nude. And he says to the guy, "What in the heck are you doing here?" And the guy says, "Everybody's got to be somewhere." Oh, no. Be there. Okay? Be there. Now, I'm not saying in that closet. Okay? You can get shot for that stuff. Okay? Now here's the key. Every single one of us here, and would you agree with me, that all of us in here have many times bought something, a service or a product, from somebody who really was not a good salesperson, and they weren't even a good service person, but you still bought from them. Who would agree? Yeah. And there's two reasons why you bought from them. One reason is that they had what you wanted. Okay? And I'll tell you the second reason. The reason why you bought from that individual person. That was the person that was standing in front of you at that time. That's it. He might have, couldn't talk, he drooped, his breath smelled, whatever it may be. But you still bought from him, didn't you? Because he was there. And I've seen lots of people that do not have the skills of selling and not good customer service skills, but boy, they can sure pound on doors, and they sure can get out there and talk to people, and they get business, don't they? We may be much more qualified than they are, but if they're seeing people and we're not, they're probably going to do better than us. So it's about being there. And I believe that success, 50% of success is just showing up. Okay? Just being there. So here's a few thoughts in proactively being in there and how to stay up with proactive selling. I say, this is a couple of quick points on how to stay in front of clients more often. Because the more often I'm in front of clients, the more business I'm going to do. Would you agree? Okay, so here's a few points that can make a difference. Especially in a tough economy, but in any economy, but in an economy that's tighter or tougher to make money in, then increase your sales calls by 20 to 50% in a run of a week. Okay? Increase it. If you're making 10 calls a week, then make 12. Okay? Or make 13 or 14. And I'll guarantee you, the odds have to be you're going to get more business. Would you agree? Which means you may have to start earlier and finish later. Okay? That's a reality. As I said, as a business owner, you put 90 hours a week in when you started. And there's times that you got to put 90 hours in a weekend. I put 21 hours in just on Sunday. I started at 5 a.m. and I finished at 2 a.m. Because I had a deadline that had to be met, and I had a meeting on Monday. And my son arrived from Canada on the Thursday, and I took some time off with him, which I needed to put into work, but I didn't do it, so I had to put a 21-hour day in. Okay? You do what you have to do. Right? That's the reality. Right? We do what we have to do. It's interesting because when they had all the power cuts in South Africa last January and February, at my office, I have a 3-bedroom I live in, and then I have a 3-bedroom in the same complex I have an office set up in. And we were sometimes 2 and 3 days down and no power. And I can tell you, at that time, I started looking at my Canadian passport. Thinking, I'm going to get out of here. Okay? And I was really, really upset at Eskom. I was just furious. And I couldn't believe it, that anybody could be so stupid as not to be able to see this thing coming. And then the government was the major shareholder, and I couldn't understand why they didn't see it. Okay? And I was like most people. I was complaining like a son of a gun about how I felt about it. And I remember I missed the deadline on a tender deal, and which means I don't know if I would have won it, but I sure didn't win it because my tender didn't even get in. Okay, so my chances were zero. And I remember a friend come along and said, "Bill, you got to get a UPS system." Yeah, UPS, isn't it? Yeah, it's UPS. You can get yourself a UPS system, and it'll keep your computers and stuff going for 8 hours. You know what I said? I shouldn't have to. It's not my fault. It's Eskom's fault. And if I have to buy a UPS system, they should have to pay for it. Who would agree? Right? I mean, that's how I felt, because I'm so upset at Eskom, see? And then I lost another deal. And then I thought, what do I tell other people? Maybe I should follow it. And by the way, sometimes it's the 600th time that I make a point, and I think, geez, that's not a bad idea. I think I'll try it myself. I don't do everything I talk about. And because I'm human. And I'm thinking, all of a sudden it hit me that it doesn't matter what the government does. It doesn't matter what Eskom does. It doesn't matter what Robert Mugabe does. Okay? It doesn't matter what anybody else does. My job is to make my business succeed, no matter what. I have a family. Okay? I have people that work with me that are important. So we can get caught up in all the other things outside of us that we say are stopping us. Now listen, we know that these things make it tough for us. I'm not living in La La Land. I know that. Right? But all I'm saying is I've got to do everything I can do to take and make it work. Right? And that's really what I did. I took and I started focusing on it. I said, I got to go out there and get proactive. I bought the UPS system. Okay? I didn't want to spend the money. It was a grudge spend. But I spent the money anyway. Because if I'm serious about business, I've got to take and make it happen. So sometimes I don't want to increase my sales calls by 20 to 50% because that means I have to work longer. But there's times you've got to do it. Okay? That alone will make a difference. If you're out there selling, which all of us should be, anybody here not in sales? Anybody here not in sales? Anybody not in sales? Okay, that's good. Because I believe if you're alive, you're in sales. Yeah. If you want to go out to Friday night and your wife doesn't want to go, you're in sales. You go out without her and come home at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're really in sales. Right? It's a matter of influencing, isn't it? I mean, we're all marketing.
Top author, speaker and entrepreneur, Bill Gibson from Canada, established Knowledge Brokers International in 1996. The vision was the exclusive offering of world-class training systems and processes to the corporate market world. Through the immediate acceptance in the marketplace of Bill Gibson's sales development, sales management, and personal marketing systems combined with results-based and sustainability-producing templates, KBI has developed the reputation of being the provider of the most comprehensive sales and sales management development and implementation systems available in the